Oh, okay, this is serious, guys. There is a very recent remedy that says, oh, we can cure diabetes. And they say, oh, the doctors are wrong and we haven't fired for a reason because, well, they say we're false, and they say, oh, we have basically done things against pharma and that they are too greedy for this. No, they're not greedy. Guys, they may be greedy about the cost, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're not greedy about people getting insulin because it's a thing. Why are they not greedy? Because it's realistic. Why are people getting diabetes? Well, for one thing, it's sugar. People are getting more sugar these days than they are used to getting back then. They used to have less sugar in the 50s. They had less sugar in the 1800s, a lot less sugar in the 1800s, a lot less sugar in the biblical times. We just had the sugar intake increase a lot back in the 1900s and especially in the 2000s. Guys, I'm telling you right now, there are people saying, oh, we have remedies against diabetes. Like it could be a needle in the foot, or it could be an herbal thing in the foot, wherever it is. And they say, oh, all you have to do is go in the nerves and get this herbal thing, or whatever you get to do. I mean, it says simple and relaxing. No, guys, diabetes is not simple. It's not relaxing. It is a thing that is, you have to take a lot less sugar, and diabetes is a thing that you do not want. If you say, the advertisement even said, you can eat as much carbs as you want. And apparently, they don't take into consideration that diabetes is a sugar thing. There's a guy at my place, and I will not mention his name, that takes a sugar needle. Not a little sugar needle, but a needle to measure his sugar. They say, oh, let's measure your sugar. Why do they say that? Because there's actual sugar in the blood. This is serious, guys. I mean, there's actual sugar in the blood, and there is nothing we can do about it except for eating less sugar. Eat less sugar, less carbs, less bread, less pasta, less potatoes. People didn't eat potatoes back then, of course. They thought it was evil because people were dying from it. They were dying of diabetes. Fruits were also bad for them, but it was meant for luxurious people. It was meant for luxury. Fruits were a thing of luxury, and even then, bread was just leavened, and it was always, they made sure that there was not too many carbs in bread. Why? Because they literally, well, let me just say that right now, fermented the bread. They completely fermented it. They made it go in the ovens for a long time. Some people in Jewish customs at that feast let the bread leaven for literally, let's say, well, one day. They make the bread leaven for one day. Some people say 2 days. In European cultures, they do it for 2 days. Even then, they eat a lot of potatoes, carbohydrates, and even they exercise. Even they get diabetes too because they think, oh, pasta is good for you. For bikers, and they get diabetes too. The more carbs you have in your body, and the more you exercise, that sugar's not going away. And the metformin is, well, it may get rid of it through your urine, but that's not going to help that much. And they say, oh, metformin is bad for, and there's doctors out there that say metformin is also bad for certain things. It causes problems. And, I don't know what problems it causes, but metformin and other things causes problems too. And there's also other diabetic medication, and all you need is insulin. Insulin is the only thing that gets rid of diabetes. And the more carbs you have for exercising, the insulin's not going to be activated by exercising. No, it does not get. Exercising does nothing with the insulin. The insulin is just a thing that just basically runs its course by food. And the more carbs you have for energy, the more chances you are going to get diabetic. Now, most people in Italy And a lot of people in Italy, like Sicily, would eat carbs, but most of the people in Italy don't eat that much carbs. Instead, they eat things like meats. A lot of people in Germany eat meats, but they also are diabetic because of the chocolate. And in Japan, there's a lot of people eating pasta, and that's a lot of people basically getting open, their eyes are getting opened to understanding that fact that, well, there's a lot of diabetics out there, so they have to eat less pasta. So now there's a tax to it, I think. I don't know. Australians are getting diabetes because of their barbecue and their sugared meats. You know, a lot of their marinara sauces have sugar, so yeah. But Americans, we eat a lot of meat too, but I think it's equally as bad as the world. And I think the people that have the worst are the people that are pretty much broke as ever, and they don't know what's causing the diabetes, other than, well, sugar, and they can't handle that. They can't help that because all they can handle is rice, and that's how the diabetes starts in that country. What about Ukraine? Well, it's a bread basket. A lot of bread baskets are having diabetes. So my point is, there's a lot of diabetes around the world because people are eating a lot of carbs, and it's not a simple solution. You don't have to. You do not eat as many carbs as you want. If you want to get your insulin going, then go ahead. But make sure you're not diabetic, because that's a hard thing to do. Is make sure you're not diabetic if you get that insulin going more for just, carbs. And that's very, by the way, dangerous. Very dangerous if you think, oh, I can eat as many carbs as I want if I get insulin, because that's very dangerous. So all I can say is, make sure you eat less cookies, pasta, bread, potatoes. Eat more cheese. Eat more meat. You know what people ate back then? And you might be surprised. They ate a lot more fish, meat, chicken. They used to eat a lot more chicken and a lot more meat, because that was easy going for them, and they ate a lot more vegetables. Meat was considered a thing of luxury, but then there was also vegetables. They always ate vegetables. Yes, fruits may be luxurious, but there's a lot more vegetables around the world than you think. Vegetables was the number one go-to thing, and meat was considered either a luxury or a high thing that people want to have. In Europe, meat was always considered a wonderful thing to have. In Israel, fish was the best thing in the world. And food was a lot more expensive back then. So now we have diabetes. Deal with it. And don't get that fad advertisement, because those people are going to be arrested for tampering, they're going to be arrested for falsifying advertisement. And also, something to murder. They're probably going to be charged for murder. These people, because these people are going to believe in them, and they're going to die. So probability of murder is probably going to be it. Alright, I'll be done, okay? Bye.